whereupon the Lord reclines on the serpent couch. Your real self will, like celestial swan, revel in the placid waters of the lake. Thus transformed, it will discover the endless delight. Want me to stop here?
Go ahead, Karthik, you can summary.
Yeah, I'll finish. Okay. I mean, I'll summarize this paragraph, and the next paragraph somebody else can say. I mean, the basic tenets, and this Swami has put it in several words, is love is man, man is love, and love is God. And I mean, it's all the same. So the pure personification of man is love. Every other vice is something which we can detach ourselves. Kama, krodha, every other stuff which we have is stuff which we have actually engaged or at least cultivated, and so it can be doing. But love is something which we are born with, and it's without which we cannot do it. That's it's a very profound statement, and and you can see some of the times you can achieve things through various other things, but when you do it through love, it's long lasting. And so that's what I gathered from this stuff. So I think Saisara, you mentioned it last week regarding the evolution, from creatures to from bacteria all the way up to man. It's just a evolution where as Earth, they don't have neither senses nor this thing, and then once from the mineral, when you become a tree, then you have certain things, but you don't have feelings. And then as you go into animals, you have feelings in this thing, but you don't have the intellect. And finally, you're one with all of the attributes. So we got to behave as one which has all the attributes, not something lower in the life form. So.
Yeah, got it. Thanks for reminding that. So the one thing is, few things we have gone through the last time is evolution process. So the first, the downward path of the evolution is a mineral or a stone, where there is consciousness, but there is no sensation, right? And then go to the plant, and plant to animal, animal to human. So, but one thing I want to share here is beautiful. Swami said he plays with the words Vasudeva and Vasudeva. Vasudeva is nothing but God of wealth, and Vasudeva is the God of the actual ever-pervading God. So both of them cannot assert same place. Vasu and Vasu means the wealth. When you are running behind the wealth, the wisdom cannot dawn. So both has to go. Either you have to be not that leave everything physically, but you have to leave the attachment to that wealth, so that the real wisdom can dawn into your heart. That's what I mean to say. And one more thing is, Swami says here, the residence of the cleans heart. So one thing I want to share, one beautiful example, Swami always narrates about this Mahabharata. When Draupadi was getting disrobed in this Hastinapura court, royal court, so she was praying to Swami for all the different kinds of needs, because Pandavas were helpless, and Dhritarashtra was helpless, and Bhishma was helpless. Everybody is helpless. She started praying to Krishna. Then first she said, "Oh Madura Nivasi," that when he was living in Madura, please help me. And then she said, "Dwaraka Nivasi." I she started calling all the names, but nothing came up. Finally, she left everything and raised her hands and said, "Hridaya Nivasi." The moment she said Hridaya Nivasi, that immediately the help came into the Krishna came for her refuse, and then she helped her. And then after everything episode is over, Draupadi went to Krishna and said, "I have been traveling, praying for you for all the time. Why did you this much of delay? So why didn't you help me in the beginning itself?" And Krishna said, "Why did you call me?" She said, "The Dwaraka Nivasi." And well, I have to come from Dwaraka. When you say Madura, I have to come from Madura. The moment you said Hridaya Nivasi, that's where I can manifest immediately. So Yad Bhavan Tad Bhavati, that's what Swami says. The moment you think where Swami is somewhere, he's going to help me, Puttaparthi or some other place, definitely the help will come, but there's a delay. Right? Swami's help is always delay, but no denial. There's always a delay. The moment you think Swami is always with me and around me, Swami says, right, intane, ventane, jantane, kantane, is always with you. The moment you think you have that bhava, in the moment the help comes immediately. So that's what I want to share here. Beautiful Swami has made this example very many number of times to mention that I'm always with you. Have that feeling always with you. I'm residing of your heart. The help will come in no time. And second thing I want to share, one more thing is in Kurukshetra, where Swami said Mahabharata, there was a beautiful, wonderful, terrific fight one day. And you know that I think one of us already mentioned that example. And Krishna was the charioteer, and Arjuna was sitting on he is the warner because he is the one who is fighting with the war. Krishna is controlling. In the midst of the havoc, all the complete chaos of the war, Krishna cannot listen what Arjuna is saying, which direction to go. So they have a mutual understanding that whenever Krishna wants to go left side, Arjuna will press with his shoes on the left side of the shoulder. So Krishna will go left. If you want to go right, he'll press on the right shoulder. And then if you want to go straight, he'll keep pressing on the back, the middle of the bone. So but when Arjuna was wearing all the metallic shoes for the war, so sharp, that's causing a lot of pain for Krishna. But he's bearing all the pain before his devotee for the sake of Dharma, because Dharma has to win in the Kurukshetra war. So it has to go through. So that day the whole fight went on, and Krishna was, most of the arrows were hitting Krishna because he's on, even though he's not wearing, he's not handling any weapon, every weapon thrown by, the shot by Dronacharya and Bhishma, they're hitting Krishna body also. Krishna body is full of bloodshed, and then Arjuna was also tired. So they came back to the camp after the war completed. And before getting down, Krishna said, you get down first, and then I'll go and park the chariot and then clean my horses. And Arjuna said, no, I am because that day Arjuna had a good fight. And he was a little bit puffed up because he thinks that, because Ahankara, ego, right? He thought that the whole war is because of me. I am the one who's fighting the war. That I-ness came inside to him, and Ahankara started growing up in his mind. And he said, he forgot, for a minute second, he forgot Krishna's divinity. And he said, I am the owner of this chariot. You have to get down and open the door for me. Then only I can get on. Krishna said, no, I cannot get on. I have to go straight into for the sake of the horses. You just get on fast. So there have been a little bit of argument, and finally Arjuna gave up. Krishna was so adamant. And Krishna jumped out of Arjuna got down, and Krishna immediately jumped a long leap out of the chariot. The moment Krishna got out of the chariot burned into ashes, completely blasted. Horses were taken away, and then the whole chariot was blasted to pieces. And then seeing that Arjuna's ego was totally gone down, and then he fell on Krishna's feet and said, what is this? What has happened? Krishna said, do you think you are the one who is fighting? I am the one who is fighting for you. If I am not there, if I would not be there, any one weapon is enough for you to smash you from the Bhishma or Dronacharya. I am the one who is protecting you. As long as I am on the chariot, you are on the safe side. Seeing this episode, Swami says, as long as you keep Krishna in your heart, the arrows of despair, agony, hatred, nothing can touch you from outside world. The moment you remove Krishna from your heart, the Swami from your heart, you will be attacked. So this is a beautiful Swami's story experience he shared with in one of the discourses. So that's what I want to share here. When it says Krishna was his resident of the heart, that is pure heart. So it is our duty, our sadhana is to keep a pure heart pure, so that Krishna or Swami can stay in our heart and protect us from all kinds of our sectional world. There are always attacks. In this world, we have to fight from day to night. From the various things, physical things, subtle things, everything we have to fight with that. But if keeping Krishna in your heart, the fight will becomes easy. The war, you can win the war easily. Yeah, that's what I want to share, Karthik. So anybody can share, please. Yeah, sorry about that. Too long.
Yeah, go ahead, Srinivas, or if you want.
Yeah, I have nothing much to add other than this was a new point for me where it says God of wealth and divinity cannot be aimed for to the highest levels. I thought both are possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mishraji?
Karthik, just a small clarification. When you say the God of wealth and God cannot reside same place, means doesn't mean the wealth you have to give up the wealth. Wealth is needed, and there was an experience of one of the devotees, Swami student. He said, Swami says money should be there, but should not be a burden on your consciousness. Should be the money is needed for your life, but it should not be a burden. I have this much of money. I have to earn this much of money. I have to keep track of this money. All these things are putting a lot of burden on your consciousness. As long as when you put your consciousness a lot of burden about because of wealth, that becomes a hurdle for your spiritual growth. The money is there, yes, it is there. Fine, that's okay. So don't take too much of money is not a complete life. It's a part of the life. That's what Swami says. Don't put too much of burden on your consciousness because of your possession, because of your money or wealth. This I want to share them. Just use attachment for the wealth. You are fine with that. But you cannot say both. I can want to struggle for money at the same time want to struggle for the God. That becomes really a tug of war. Very difficult for you. Yes, you. Sorry. Yeah, that's one to share.
Mishraji?
Yeah, like see, earning money and attachment to God or spirituality, it all depends inside you as a you. Means we can, it should not touch our core. Just for our external things, we can earn money, but inside we should not be. That is why all dana, all charity, everything is there. Whatever we love, we should quit that. That is called dana. So I do not agree that we cannot earn money.
No, it's not the earning money. It's just attachment to the money is what he's talking about. So.
Yeah. Inside inside we should be like even though money comes or goes or family or anything, nothing should be it should be inside we should be like totally completely surrendered to God. Externally whatever we looks like or whatever we behaves or to feed our feed ourselves, we should earn money. So that is altogether different. Anyway, so nothing to add from my side. What I the other things that is interesting is that a man goes to that any tree to animal, animal to human, and that is also interesting. Swami talked about that our changes is happening, and from man to we should experience, because we are the highest evolution creation, so we should experience the divinity. That is one thing I just want to add it.
Gayatri?
I am just listening.
That's okay. You've listened, so this is, we learn from each other. That's why each one has their own perspective. So.
Right. I'm just learning now.
Okay. All right. So next time you can jump in. Sai, you want me to continue or somebody else can continue? That's okay.
Yeah, Subbu can continue if you want to read.
Okay, Sairam. A very nice discussion actually about the previous paragraph. I was just the story
sorry,
about
Subbu, I didn't call on you. Sorry.
No, that's fine. No problem. No problem. The wealth and divinity. It's basically the attachment. Again, there is not. I think Swami also said in one of the other speeches, you can earn money, but you don't get too much. Become the dasa to the money or something like that. I remember hearing some talk like that. So that was a great point. And yeah, sure, no problem. I'll go to the next paragraph now. Drink from God's limitless sweet nectar. Who can mark the beginning of the continuous waves of the ocean? It is an impossible task. If people decided to do so, the wave with which they started the calculation would be considered the beginning, and the wave with which they stopped would be for them the last, the end. There is a beginning and an end for the count, but there is no beginning or end for the process. In that boundless, illimitable expanse, no one can visualize either God's glory. In that boundless, illimitable expanse, no one can visualize either ends, basically. Okay. God's glory is the shoreless ocean. When people start describing it, it begins for them. When they finish their description, it is the end, as far as they are concerned. But His glory is beyond space and time. Only little minds will argue that God's glory has a beginning and an end. The stage on which He plays His Leela has no boundaries. The story of His play is all nectar. It has no other component, no other taste, no other content. Everyone can drink his fill from any part of that ocean of nectar. The same sweetness exists everywhere, in every particle. There is nothing inferior to mar the sweetness. Can we go to the next page?
Yeah, go to the next one.
Oh, I think we have to go to the next page, I think.
Okay, next page.
We're back to the...
Okay, there's one more paragraph, love of God.
Oh, okay. Okay. Love of... Okay, the story of His play is all nectar. It has no other component, no other taste, no other content. Everyone can drink his fill from any part of that ocean of nectar. The same sweetness exists everywhere, in every particle. There is nothing inferior to mar the sweetness. Love of God and love for God are both eternally sweet and pure. Love of God and love for God are both eternally sweet and pure. Whatever the method of your accepting or attaining them, such love is holy and inspiring. Sugar is sweet when eaten during day or night. For it is night or day for the person who eats, not for the sugar. Sugar behaves uniformly always.
Yeah, I think this is the end of the chapter.
Okay. Okay, nice. Yeah.
So if you want to share, otherwise you can go for next chapter. Subbu. If you want to share anything with that last chapter, last paragraph.
Yeah, just, I mean, it's like, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's all. I guess it's all in individual understanding. Is I guess like everybody. Like again, the same example we discussed multiple times. Like 7 blind people
Right.
trying to give a description of the elephant. Each one can give their own description, but God is beyond all this description. I guess beyond this. So I guess it's basically this paragraph here has similar. First paragraph has the same meaning. Looks like whatever we describe is our own understanding. It may not be the full understanding of God. God's glory has no beginning or end. Yeah. So the sweetness again. So it is available. I mean, day or night, it is for the person, but not for the sugar. Sugar behaves uniformly always. Okay. And unless anyone has anything, I'm okay, I guess.
Yeah, the
Well,
only
just I want to words.
I think there it's like what Baba has said, right? It's depending on what kind of color glasses you wear.
Oh, yeah.
right? Say, if you're wearing red color glass,
Yes.
everybody will appear red to you. So that doesn't mean that God's love is, I mean, like divinity is always there. It's just that how we look at it,
Yeah.
how you interpret or translate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Saisarya.
Yeah, one thing, just one thing I want to add what Subbu and Gati said. When it says sweetness of the Lord, so Swami mentioned one of the discourses. There are different kinds of enjoying the sweetness of the Lord, right? But he is beyond that. So sweetness, when you say somebody, the Sankirtana, Kirtana, right? So Swami says when you say there are four kinds of Kirtana. One is the Leela Sankirtana. People sing the Leelas of the pastimes of the Lord. He just lifted the mountain. He caused so and so, all these things. Keep on keeping the pastimes, the Leela. And the second kind of people are Guna Sankirtana. Guna Sankirtana means they apply some attributes for the God. You are Karunakara, Dayasagara, all these things, Premavatar, all these things. But he's a fulfillment of all the attributes. He's beyond the attributes actually. And third kind of people is Bhava Sankirtana. Bhava Sankirtana means everybody has their own bhava, right? So someone looks at the God as a father relationship. Someone looks as a friend. Someone looks as a lover, Madhura Bhava. All these things they have Bhava Sankirtana. So three kinds of Sankirtanas are same thing, but they are enjoying the sweetness different out of their own approach to the relationship with the Lord. But beyond this, all these three, there is one more thing where there is beyond all this, any kind of attributes, any kind of bhava, there is a Nama Sankirtana. This is the only way where you can enjoy the Nama Sankirtana with the Lord, where there is no applying or you're not applying any attributes. You're not asking him for anything. You're just taking his name and enjoying his sweetness. Out of all these four, Nama Sankirtana is the one which is the best, and anybody can do, anytime it can be done. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Ketala Kevalam, Kalau Nastaiva Gatiranyada. That means nothing else is there in this Kali Yuga other than this Nama Sankirtana. So when you say sweetness of the Lord, that's what I want to share it. Swami said, you can enjoy the sweetness, real sweetness of the Lord only by its name, the Nama. Rupa is also not correct. Nama, initially you have to take a Rupa, that means a Nama, Rupa, Saita, Dhyana. But after some time, Rupa is not enough, not needed. Nama should be enough. That's it. That's what I want to share. The sweetness, when you say enjoy the sweetness of the Lord, the name is the correct one.
So can anyone give me a very brief description? What is this book now, this Bhagavata?
Bhagavatha Vahini. This is Bhagavath Vahini is nothing but the actual story happened after the Kurukshetra war. What happened to the Pandavas? What happened to the Krishnas? Leaving the Krishna's avatar, everything. The same time, it goes with the story along with Swami's teachings also. These Swami's discourses combined into a Vahini, Bhagavata Vahini.
So this, whatever you are all reading now, is Bhagavata Vahini?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gayatri, I will send you that this thing again. Yeah, you can. It's in the first page. I think we covered that in the page 1.
So all this is Baba has written this.
Right. This is Satya Sai Baba's interpretation of Bhagavatam, not the Bhagavatam which you would normally get. So,
Okay. So this is all this, what is happening here, what you're reading, all this is what happened after Mahabharata.
Right.
Yeah. After Mahabharata war, Kurukshetra war.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, in a regular Bhagavatam, if you go, it's like if you had gone to Gita Vahini, right? Gita Vahini is not exactly Gita. The Bhagavad Gita doesn't go by stance by stance. He basically, it's Baba's on Gita's teachings. I mean, on the Gita, this thing, and he goes through that thing. If you go to
like his interpretation of Gita.
Well, it's not his interpretation. It's just he's telling us, he's making it dummy. It's like Gita for dummies for us. That kind of stuff.
Okay. And this one, what is this now?
This is Bhagavatam. This is the Gita was during the Mahabharata war, right?
Okay.
This
Okay.
Bhagavatam is after the war.
Mm-hmm.
And initially we talked about this one where the sage Vasishtha, right? He was not
Karthik,
satisfied
can
with
you go
this.
to the initial chapters?
No,
Can you
no,
go to the
no. I
beginning of the
don't. I
thing?
don't
We'll
want to
just
There are a list
quickly
of
do it.
chapters.
Yeah.
No, not that. The list
I
of
don't want to
chapters,
disturb
what
your
are
flow.
the topics?
Oh, okay.
No, not disturbing. So it is kind of review for everyone. If you see these chapters here, all the 32 chapters,
Okay.
these chapters are nothing but everything is going to be, so Bhagavatam starts when Bharata ends. It's going to be a story. Most of the time we talk about Pandavas, Kauravas, everything. What happened to that after that? So that the Dwapara Yuga is going to end after that. And how this transition happened, what kind of nature of the human nature has changed after the Dwapara Yuga. So we start with end of this Mahabharata and go with the Vidura. What happened to Vidura? He comes back and take care of Dhritarashtra and everything. So going forward, little bit go down.
Yeah.
Karthik.
Sure.
So Krishna leaves the body and everything. These are the things where we don't see in Mahabharata. And then Pandavas leave their bodies, go to Mahaprasthan. They leave the bodies there. And after that, how the Parikshat leaves the body, comes to listen to the Bhagavatam stories.
So,
Seven
like, if
days.
you were to summarize this, like, basically, what is it teaching us? What is the main thing? What is the main thing? If you have to summarize, what is it that trying to teach us?
Okay, the one thing is the same question somebody asked Swami, what happens when you read Bhagavatam? So Swami beautifully said in Telugu, he said, Bhagavatam charita Bhagavatam. That means you'll get better. So things Swami gives is just playing with the words. But thing is, this is when you enjoy the pastimes of the Lord, you'll enjoy the sweetness. At the same time, you learn a lot of things, subtle things in that. For example, the human nature, how it changed in the Mahabharata time, and come to Bhagavatam time, how the people changed. What are the qualities in the heart, the evil qualities of the people, how they got punished, how the good people got liberation. All these things kind of take us the slow process in the whole process. It's kind of, even if you see the 15th chapter, Parikshat and everything, you can go down topic. Takshaka story. They're all beautiful stories. At the same time, we can see the Swami's teachings also, very subtle things. An example of the Kali. He has 19th chapter entered the Kali age. What are the changes happening from Dwapara Yuga to Kali Yuga? If you take the story as a story, we enjoy the story. But if you see the lessons behind the story, right, every story has very wonderful values learned. So we can, but only thing we have to apply the Swami's teachings also. When you're learning, we can discuss about putting Swami's teachings into that and analyze it. Then you'll really enjoy it. At the end of this today's session, Karthik, I'm going to show you one small example, an experience of a Swami student.
Sure.
Because we are talking about the wealth and everything. There's a 10 minutes video. I'll show you the end of this today's class session.
So, Gayatri, on a very high level, I mean, if Swami comes or if anyone comes and just pure preaching, don't have the 6 vices, don't do that, it doesn't retain in your head. So instead, it has been woven into a story form so that you can relate it based on each part of the story is focusing on certain things which you can learn from that. So you can, so that one, of course, the storytelling itself is it's a different this thing, but apart from the storytelling, it comes with a moral or something which you can gain from it. So the reason why they do Bhagavatam multiple times is every time you read it, you will gain something more out of it. First time it may be just a story, right? Next time you know the story, and now you're trying to figure out why that happened. So you go a little more deeper, in the stuff. So that's why you'll see people when they do Bhagavatam. I mean, they could have done Bhagavatam one time and gone, right? I mean, you listen to Bhagavatam once and it's just like a novel, you throw it away and then you don't listen to it. No, they keep going back to it. It's just like Satcharita, right? You go back to it. Every time you read it, you see a couple of nuggets which you missed out the first time around, right?
Got it. The reason I want to just be a listener is because I really don't know. And if you guys don't mind me to listen, I'll listen. But
No,
I
it's
don't
not,
want
it's
you.
okay. Yeah.
No, I don't want you to think that I cannot. I cannot have an input for everything. So I don't want you to think I'm going to give you input.
No,
If
no.
it's okay for me to listen and just be part of this conversation, I'll join. Otherwise, it's hard for
Gayatri,
me.
this is just a conversation. So none of us know
Right.
anything more than you do.
So that's why I'm
There are
saying
some of
I
it is
don't.
there. Some of us are doing. So
Yeah. So
but
I don't mind joining. I mean, I really love listening to all this, but I don't want to give input. And if you're okay with that,
yeah,
it's
we are
wonderful
fine.
for me.
Perfectly okay. Yeah.
Okay, because I am really in that samsara loka now. So I just want to listen.
Everybody. Hey, I am also same. Okay, Gayatri.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting that when Sai Surya or somebody, I will pick 2 words from there.
Right. So I
I
really
will
don't.
add
I
mine.
really hope.
Whatever I thought
you
I
don't
tell.
mind.
So
Yeah.
you don't worry about that.
Yeah. So I want to listen to all of you if you don't mind. Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
That's fine, Gayatri. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
The only thing, at least sometimes you can take the reading you can do, right?
I can read it. I can read for you, but I don't want to give
Yeah, sure.
input.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We want some listeners too, right? Not everyone's talking.
Sai Surya,
good
you are
listeners,
doing a
so
wonderful job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice to
Thank you very
listen to
much.
you.
So
Yeah.
at one point, I just have a couple of comments on this sweet nectar stuff, right? So I used to think, I mean, at least I started thinking, what is the sweet nectar? I mean, so it's like this: when somebody tells you the laddu tastes good, unless you have tasted the laddu, you have no idea what it tastes, right? So it's the same thing in here. What does it mean that God's limitless nectar? I mean, all this can be this thing until you experience it. You don't have any sense of what it is, right? So I used to kind of ponder. I mean, what is this? What is this thing which can make? But occasionally, right? Every one of us have encountered situations where you're kind of flabbergasted how you got some help, or something happened to you which you never expected, and this says this was divine intervention or divine grace or whatever it is you think.
Grace.
That feeling, however fleeting it is, right, is the nectar. And that's not something I can tell you or you can tell me and we can do. It's just it's one you experience the stuff, right? So as this paragraph really says, I mean, there is no nectar. The sugar doesn't know its own taste, right? So it is there. It is for us to taste the sugar to find the taste of it. So that is the challenge for all of us. Is that we are not able to. It's right now it's going on. Yet we are not able to. We don't know what's happening, and we are kind of oblivious to what's happening, right? In some cases, you are able to recognize it, and at that time, you say, "Wow, this happened to me, and this is this thing." In most cases, we are oblivious to what is happening. Even our breath, which we are getting, we take it as assumption. Oh, my body is breathing, and that's what is happening. But every part of that is for a reason and why it's going on. And that is the sweetness which we are not able to get into, because our mind and body, this thing is kind of diverted to other things like pursuit of money or pursuit of happiness or pursuit of something else. So I mean, that's my understanding as far as thing. But occasionally we do get that sense, when we are listening to bhajans sometimes, or we are in a situation, all of a sudden something happens and it says, how did this happen? So, and every one of us have gone through that. Hopefully we can elongate those moments to make it into minutes instead of seconds. So that's my two things. Of when you talk about nectar, what is the nectar? because if you may be talking about something which you have no idea of what. And this is kind of at least my understanding of it. If I can get that sense of understanding of what's going on, that's that itself is like eating a laddu of this stuff. So that's all I have.
Yeah, Karthik. When you say laddu sweetness, just I want to share a small thing what Swami said.
Sure.
I think we already discussed about this because some new is very apt for this situation. Yes, I want to repeat that. When you say this God is like a sweetness, there are three kinds of philosophies from ancient times. One is when you say Madhvacharya came first, and then Ramanujacharya came, and then Shankaracharya. So these three people taught us three philosophies. One is Advaita, which is Advaita, where you think God and myself are different. And Visishta Advaita, where there is a relationship with God. Finally, when you said Advaita philosophy, is me and God are one and the same. We already discussed about this, right? Christianity have Swami said, right? I am the messenger of the God. Jesus said, I am the son of the God. I am God itself. Me and Father are the one and the same. So the same philosophy in Indian philosophy also. These things. Ramanujacharya said, I am the sugar. God is the sugar. I am the ant. God, I want to be separate from the sugar because I want to enjoy the sweetness, which is Ramanujacharya philosophy. And then Madhvacharya came and said, yes, I want the sugar, but I want to enjoy it in different forms. I want to enjoy it as a candy. I want to make it eat the sugar as it is. I want to make a sugar juice. So he made different kind of relationships, Visishta Advaita, where you can enjoy the relationship with the God as slave, as a servant, Dasya Bhava. You can enjoy the parental relationship, Vatsalya Bhava, or you can enjoy the relationship with God as Sakya Bhava, as a friend, as a Madhura Bhava, as a lover. So Madhvacharya came and with the philosophy, Visishta Advaita, where you can enjoy the relationship with God as any kind of relationship you can develop. Finally, Shankaracharya came and said, Visishta Advaita philosophy, where you and I become a sweetness itself. I become the sugar itself. Right? So that's what Shankaracharya came and said. If I become the sweetness, if I am the ant, I can enjoy only one kind of sweet, either Mysore pak, gulab jamuns, or something. If you become the sugar, you can take any form. You become the sweetness itself. This is called Advaita philosophy of Shankaracharya. So, but all these people trying to say that you are trying to go near to one step by step near to Lord. But Swami said beautifully, first we start with Advaita philosophy, take the name of the God, form of the God, enjoy it. After some time, you become son of the God. A close relationship, which is Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, Sayujya. First, Salokya means you are in godly consciousness all the time, listening to stories, listening to going to the satsang, and doing his seva. All these things becomes in Sai consciousness called Salokya. And then you become Samipya, means you become closer to God with any kind of relationship, called Samipya. Once you become Samipya, the next one is Sarupya, where you become, a lot of examples Swami said, like Hanuman, Bharata and Ramayana, where the form itself changes. Like Bharata was chanting God's name, Rama's name, for 14 years, as long as Rama was in forest. And when he came back after 14 years, Rama and Bharata looks exactly the same as it is, no change, because he was taking Rama's name and form for 14 years, became exactly like Rama. Right? At the same time, another example of Bhagavatam is called Uddhava, Krishna's cousin. He was also close to Krishna. When he came to pick up Krishna, when he came to talk to Gopikas in the Nandagram, to Krishna's message, they mistook Uddhava as Krishna itself. That much resemblance in the form. Called Sarupya. This is a long journey, but once Sarupya happens, Sayujya is the next step. Once you become one with the God itself. Swami said these 4 steps are not different, but a step-by-step process. Same thing Christianity also. I'm the messenger of the God, I'm son of the God, my Father and one and the same. Right? This is what Jesus said. Everything is same. But when you say the sweetness of the nectar, yes, there is different kinds of enjoying the sweetness, but it all depends how we approach. Right? Yeah. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah. I think I actually have a couple of WhatsApp this things, very similar concept. I'll see if I can forward the videos.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Go to the next chapter, Karthik. One of us can read. Gayatri, can you start second chapter?
Yeah, I can read.
Sure.
Gayatri, can you see the screen or?
Is it that Parikshit is saved while in the womb? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Uh-oh. Wait. What happened? Uh-oh.
You lost the connection. Screen sharing.
I may have gone to a different screen. Srinivas, if you can read, then we can follow up with.
Maharaja Parikshit was the very self. Maharaja Parikshit was the very self of Abhimanyu, who had attained the heavenly abode of heroes. When Parikshit was an embryo growing in the womb of Uttara, he saw the sharp arrow shot by Ashwatthama flying towards him, emitting sparks of fury and terror bent on his destruction. But at the very moment, he also saw a person of brilliant charm, armed with a terrific wheel, breaking that death-dealing arrow into 100 pieces. The royal fetus was filled with wonder and gratitude. He pondered deeply on the identity of his savior. Who is he? He must be dwelling in this womb with me, because he could see the arrow at the very moment I saw it. But he has such intrepidity and skill that he could destroy it before it reached me. Can he be a uterine brother? How could he get hold of that wheel? If he is endowed with a wheel, why wasn't I? He is no mortal. He argued thus for a long time within himself. Let me know when I have to stop, okay?
Yeah, keep going, please.
Okay, because I have no idea what I'm reading.
Right.
He couldn't forget that face, that form. It was a boy with the splendor of a million suns. It was benign, blissful, blue like the clear sky. After saving him so dramatically and so mercifully, the form had disappeared. He had the form always before him, for he was seeking to see it again. He examined whoever he saw to find out whether that form corresponded with the form he had reverentially fixed in his mind. Thus he grew in the womb, contemplating that form. The contemplation transformed him into a splendor-filled baby. When at the end of the period of gestation he was born into the world, the lying in room was lit by a strange light. Uttara's female attendants were dazzled by the brilliance. Their wits were overcome by wonder. Recovering himself, Subhadra, mother of Abhimanyu, sent word to Yudhishthira, the eldest of the Pandavas, announcing the birth. The Pandava brothers were overwhelmed with joy when they heard the glad tidings for which they were waiting anxiously. They ordered bands to play and guns to be fired in honor of the event, for a scion had been born for the royal family, a successor to the Pandava throne. The people heard a peal of guns and sought the reason for the joy. They rushed towards Indraprastha in large masses of enthusiasm, and every corner of the kingdom gushed with joy at the event. Within minutes, the city was transformed into a heavenly garden fit for gods to give audience to men. Yudhishthira distributed several varieties of sweets to all who came. He granted several cows as gifts to Brahmins. He instructed the ladies of the court to give golden caskets full of saffron and kumkum to women. Brahmins were awarded silk clothes and precious gems. Citizens were transported with joy for the dynasty had secured an heir. Night and day they revealed in hilarious exultation. Next day, Yudhishthira called the family priest, Kripacharya, and performed.
To the next page.
Well, I lost it.
The next day here, right here. Next day, Yudhishthira called the
okay. Next day, Yudhishthira called the family priest Kripacharya and performed the rite of first cleansing of the infant. He satisfied the Brahmins by gifts of various costly jewels. The scholars and priests blessed the child and returned home. The astrologers, should I stop here or should I continue?
Yeah, you can stop here, Gayatri.
Okay.
You can stop
Okay.
here. Yeah, I think one of us can share it because we have gone through this part before. This is birth of Abhimanyu Parikshit, because to give a small recap of what happened before, I think Abhimanyu was killed in Mahabharata war. All of us know about it, how he was killed in a ruthless way. All the Kauravas cheated him and trapped him and killed him mercilessly. And after that, so Pandavas took revenge on them. Maybe all the Kauravas were killed. Whereas this Ashwadhama, Dronacharya's son, he took vow that he's going to kill all the Pandavas. So by mistake, he went inside the tent when everybody is sleeping. He thought Upa-Pandavas, means Pandavas' sons were sleeping. Every Pandava has one son. They call Upa-Pandavas. So they were sleeping. He mistook them as actual Pandavas. So he cut their throats. All the 5 were killed. And took the five children. They're all children actually, not even grown up also. So he went, and then even Duryodhana shouted at him, what kind of stupid act you did? Killing the people when you're sleeping is that itself is a horrible thing. And you kill the children when you're sleeping. So it was a totally inexcusable act. So finally, when all this happened, later Arjuna promised him that he will kill the Ashwadhama. But when they brought Ashwadhama to the Draupadi, Draupadi said, forgive him. I don't want to cause any pain for Ashwadhama's mother, Kupi. So because I am having all the pain because of my 5 sons, I don't want to give the same pain for his mother. So they left him, but they took the actual jewel on his hair, because that is the very powerful jewel on his head. So removed his jewel, and he became kind of a madly person. And he's actually, he has a boon that will not die. He's called Chiranjeevi. So, but he is totally wandering even now people say he's still alive in the Himalayas, right? So Ashwadhama, what he did is, before dying, he shot an arrow, Brahmastra, to kill the only son left in the Uttaras, Abhimanyu's wife. She was pregnant. The womb is called Parikshit, a small baby in the womb. That the weapon was so powerful, it entered into the womb and tried to kill the baby. That time Krishna took the Vishnu form, 400 form, into the womb and saved that baby, and by stopping the Brahmastra. That is the story. The baby saw that Narayana form. It was so mesmerizing form, he could not forget that. So from the day one, the moment it saw the form, it keep on remembering that same form again and again. That's what it said here. When the baby came out of the mother's body, it was dazzling with brightness because it was thinking about the form all the time. It's called Sarupya. Right? Maybe an example of what we said before. Sarupya, because he was thinking about the same form every moment in the womb, mother's womb. So because of that, it took that form itself. That brightness, it got it. The radiance, it got. The baby got it. So that was the baby came out, and then the people are enjoying. Swami explained in detail how they celebrate the baby's birth. So I think this small, if everybody is okay, I can show that it's a video. Karthik, can I share my screen?
Yeah. I will stop my share, so you can.
Okay. So we are talking about the wealth and how the importance of wealth in the life. So I want to. Oh, sorry. I cannot share. Okay, I cannot minimize it. Okay. It's recording, right? Okay.
Yeah, we are able to see your screen now.
Yeah. It is some talks here. So this is the Sanjay Mahalingam Swami student actually. So I want to share this.
Something enough to make me very sad.
One second. Can you listen? Can you hear the audio?
Yeah. Can you put it to, the audio was coming, but it's not, it was low.
Yeah, I'll show it now. Now you see it now. Is it okay now?
You also like that there are so much problem for you, and you started imitating me.
Yes, yes.
Right now? How is it now? Okay.
I was getting this voice, but can you go back a little bit and see the starting of that?
Let me see that.
You also
Right?
like that there are so much problem for you, and you started imitating me. I think it was 2010. I'm not really sure about the dates, but I think it was 2010. It was about 2 years since I finished my PhD. I was waiting for Swami's further instructions. Only one who waits for Swami's instructions can know the joy of it. For others, onlookers, it looks as, to some, to the uninitiated, if I may say so, it looks like a waste of life, a waste of time. And a lot of people who tell you, what are you doing? I mean, you're educated, you are just wasting your time is passing you by, you're getting old, you're not married, you don't have a job. But only to the student who waits for Swami's instruction. And this is unanimous. You can ask any student who has waited for a year, 2 years, 3 years, some have waited for over a decade. That waiting remains the most cherished and the beautiful time of their life. For years and decades after that, they remember that time when they waited for Swami's instruction. So I was in that phase. I was waiting for Swami's instructions after my PhD. And, amongst the various joys of that time, there are a few challenges also. And one of the challenges is the financial challenge, because you feel shy to ask money from your parents because your parents are telling you to take a job, but you're not, so you feel a little shy and you would like it. It feels a little more honorable to live by your own means. So one such day, usually I had about 6,000 rupees to run my month. And in Parthi you can do it. You can live quite well. If you can put a reasonable ceiling on your desires, you can live pretty well in Parthi with 6,000 rupees. So my monthly budget was 6,000 rupees. Somehow something happened and I had a massive expenditure. Well, 4,000 was massive for us at the time. So 4,000 rupees expenditure in the first 2 days of the month. And still the whole month was left and I was left with only 2,000 rupees. And I was wondering what to do. How am I going to cut my month? How am I going to spend my month? So I was very anxious. And sometimes hidden emotions, which are generally not on the surface, when challenges arrive in life, emotions that you yourself are not aware of, they may sometimes surface. So suddenly I was very angry, pained, desolate. And I was really telling Swami, what is this, Swami? How am I going to live? What is this? I was very anxious. So, when you're anxious, what can you do? You just offer your anxiety to Swami and try to calm your mind. So, it was evening, my prayer time, so I had a wash, sat and tried to still my mind and just sit quietly at the feet of Swami. By his grace, surely, I was able to really quiet my mind and I was just sitting silently. Just sitting. The depths of my consciousness, Swami revealed to me, see, a problem is a problem if you think it is a problem. One really needs to meditate on this statement of Swami's revelation. A problem is a problem only if you think it's a problem. And only thought is a problem. So if you remove problem from your consciousness and you just sit quietly, there is no problem. In fact, in the very seed of the problem lies the solution. Every problem comes with a solution. And every solution in fact comes with a problem. And that is the play of drama, the play of Maya. So the whole idea of life is to go beyond. Who doesn't have problems? So Swami has said this in many discourses. The only way is the only way out is the way in. You just go beyond. So you just say there is no problem and you just be happy. In fact, allow me to digress. Many years back, I was in the interview room. It was 2004 or 5. Swami had just started talking to me. And you know, when Swami just starts talking to you, you can take liberties with Swami that you can't imagine a few years down the line. So I used to be very free with Swami. I could tell him anything. I could even scold him. I had some problem. Again, I don't remember what. But it was something enough to make me very sad. And I was really sad. And I was venting my sorrow to Swami. And I was actually crying. You know, sobbing. Like I was sobbing. And Swami looked at me. And he started imitating me. And he also, like that, so much problem for you. And he started imitating me and making fun of me, mocking at my misery. You know, when we are miserable, our misery is the most real thing to us. In fact, it becomes our prized treasure. We don't want to let go of the misery because that is where our identity is stuck, you know, and it is very important. So we are miserable. And how can somebody laugh at us? And Swami laughed at me, mocked at me, and I was very angry. And I said, Swami, I am having such a problem. What kind of a mother you are? How can you laugh? Will my real mother laugh? And those kind of senti dialogues I threw at Swami. And then Swami said, remember, what I ignore, you also ignore. That is the way to move ahead. That's all. When I came out of the interview room, immediately I was still in a very disturbed state. So, but over a few days when I thought of what Swami said, it was such a great mantra. What Swami ignores, you too ignore. So coming back, so I was left with 2,000 rupees and I was now calm, and Swami told me in my meditation that what's a problem is a problem. If you think it is a problem, therefore be free. Delete it from your consciousness and just be free. And I got up from a meditation. I was in such a state of exuberant joy. I really felt so free that, you know, these are moments that we remember for life. You really cannot you can't really describe those moments when you feel the freedom of your soul. The freedom that truly transcends birth and death. You just feel like you are nothing but the expansive sky. So I felt like that I was so free. And suddenly, from that consciousness, when you look at the problem, you laugh at it. And suddenly when I thought about this 2,000 rupees problem, and my whole being laughed at it because it suddenly looked so utterly insignificant. So what I did, I said, fine, let me just play, have a game. So that day morning I went to the ATM. You know, those days we were not too much into e-banking and all that. For everything, we went to check our account balance, you had to go to an ATM. So I had gone to an ATM, I checked my account balance, and that small slip of paper had come in which there was an available balance 2,044 rupees or something like that. So I said, fine, let me just add 1 0. I took a pen, I took that slip out of my wallet and added 1 0. So available balance 20,000 rupees. So I said, now I'm going to just live as if I have 20,000 rupees. Because that is the thing, you know, whole life is determined not by the events outside yourself, but your inner state. What looked an insurmountable disaster half an hour back looked like a joke half an hour later. What changed? Nothing changed. My state changed. That is the whole secret of life. So our life's experience is determined not by the events outside, but the state inside. So I just put 1 extra 0 on my ATM slip. I threw the ATM slip away and I said, I'm going to live like a king for the next 26 days of the month. And I went to sleep. Next day morning when I got up, after my morning prayers and all, I had this irresistible urge suddenly to clean my entire wardrobe. So I just started cleaning. Cleaning means take out everything, fold it properly, reorganize, clean, dust, and then, you know, completely reorganize everything. So in this process, I found a small envelope tucked right under all my clothes in one obscure corner of my wardrobe. So a brief background is in place. What happens that Swami, in his motherly affection, he showers his love on his students in many ways, in many forms, in many various manifestations. Care, concern, love. And sometimes to help them make ends meet, he also sometimes gives us some money. On one such occasion, Swami had given me some money and said, use it carefully. This is for your sustenance. Keep it well. And then I remember Swami had told me, keep it right at the bottom of your cupboard. And then Swami went on to explain why. Because this entire incident has so many learnings. And Swami said, you see, money should never become heavy in your consciousness. Swami said, nothing wrong in having money. Swami said, I bless you to have a lot of money, be happy, but money should not become heavy in your consciousness. It should just be there, So Swami said, symbolically, to strengthen that idea into yourself, you keep the money right under the bottom of your cupboard, so as to symbolize to yourself that money is there, but not that important at all. In fact, it is the least important of all. In fact, in this context, I remember Swami had once told me that Kali Yuga is driven by 4 forces. What we call Kali Yuga is nothing but the domination of 4 inner forces. Greed for money, lust, desire for power, and desire for fame. These 3 forces drive what we loosely call Kali Yuga. So desire for money was a very important force, which was, which is in the universal consciousness in Kali Yuga. So Swami said, keep it right under your cupboard. So this envelope was that envelope. I did not even remember actually, and even to date I don't remember when Swami gave that money. Must have been really a long back, because the envelope was actually quite yellow. I took that envelope, it's a bundle of cash inside, and I started counting. And lo and behold, there was exactly 18,000 rupees in that envelope. And now my available balance in my account was actually exactly 20,000 rupees. What I had just added 1 zero. I wish I had a couple of more zeros, but I just added 1. You see, that's another thing. Only we limit our manifestation. We think there is somebody up there deciding. We limit everything. I just added 1 zero, and 1 zero is what I got, because that is what I believed. The space in my consciousness was only there for 20,000. If I had said 20 crores, we don't believe that the universe is ingenious enough to make that happen, but the truth is it is. And the limitation is only inside ourselves. Anyway, again I digress. So now my available balance was 20,000 rupees. So that day I realized that the key to a happy life is not a life free of problems, because that probably doesn't exist. The key to a happy life is a carefree, positive attitude, and just to live with strength, gratitude, and positivity. And the most important element of our life is our inner state. That is so sacrosanct that we must manage it with great care, awareness, and alertness. And we should not be casual. We may be casual about other things, but when it comes to managing our inner space, we should take full responsibility and manage it with great care.
Sairam.
Sairam.
So I think that was apt for today's discussion about the wealth and how much importance we should give for the wealth. Just I want to share for that.
Absolutely.
I think we're running out of.
Great point. I think we got to wrap it up. It's 4:10. So unless anyone has any questions.
Now we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, it was very nice. Beautiful.
Next week, who can do the recap of the story? Who can do that? One of you can take care of it. I can share the recording of today's recording, last week's recording. Just recap up to today's. Just take few minutes for recapping it. One of you can volunteer it. Srinivas, can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll share the links for recording. Is that clear, Karthik? Next week, Srinivas will do the recap.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Of this week's, right?
Of this week, yeah. This week's.
Yeah.
We'll end with Om and 3 Shantis.
Okay.
Shanti. 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 Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam.
Sir.